Hey, welcome to Miss D 61 Sports. If you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe to my channel. And let's get into it.
We have Angel Wilson versus Angel Reese Jr. in the epic Candice Parker retirement jersey ceremony.
So, yeah, so we have a pretty good game tonight. I know that Chicago Sky is out of the playoff contention, and the Aces won like 9 straight. And they're vying for even higher than third place right now. But the matchup we want to see, it's still gonna be good. The future Hall of Famer and the future MVP and the best player in the league, no doubt. The most dynamic player in the league, no doubt. The most influential player in the league, no doubt, is Asia A1 Wilson versus the young, hungry, willing to scrap KT's dog, Angel Reese Jr. And this is gonna be pretty good. They have a mutual respect for one another, and I like to see that. It's gonna be very good. Um, Aces, they come off a 9 game winning streak. Um, I want to see the Sky compete, which I think they will. I know what Angel and Camilla going to bring. Let's see what Ariel and the rest of the crew bring. They bring that, they could come out with a victory if they play hard and play within themselves. And so that's the matchup tonight. Asia is going to be Asia. I can see her doing a double double, and Angel is going to have a double double. So Camilla. Who's going to guard Camilla? I know that Asia and Angel is going to battle back and forth, and yeah. And so we also have something interesting. We have returning to Chicago by the name, young lady by the name of Candice Parker. And they were going to retire her jersey. She played with the Sky. She won a championship with the Sky, and they decided to retire her jersey. Um, the controversy that she might be coming back to, I don't know what was she thinking by putting Angel in a C tier, and some of the players that she put in the other tiers, the higher tiers, she was better than. She been better than. Angel been breaking records since she got into the league. This is on her second season, and so it's gonna be interesting to see how the crowd respond. Angel, despite that, and some of the cold shoulder that Candace Parker gave her, sort of kind of at the LA when they played the LA Sparks earlier. We'll see how they respond. But I think she would be a trooper and still go give her a hug, clap, do whatever. And so we're gonna see. I think it's gonna be a good game. Angel gonna show out, and we're gonna see Miss Candace Parker if she's a C tier. So I'm looking forward to that. They play hard and give the ball to Angel and Camilla, and everybody hit their open shots. Please keep Camilla at the dang on 3-point line. Put her down in the post. Have her punish Nalissa Smith. I want her to have a game like BG had against Nalissa Smith. Nalissa Smith was getting tore up by BG, and I don't think Alyssa Smith can guard Camilla, the killer, if they give her the ball in the right spots. And Rachel Banham stand in the corner. Becca Allen stand in the corner. Kia Nurse stand in the corner and shoot your threes. But keep her out of have her post up early. Give her the ball early, because I think Alyssa Smith, Liz Smith, is going to guard Camilla. She don't want none of that in the lane. And then Meg and they're gonna probably gonna be bring in Kia Stokes, and that's not gonna work. So yeah, you know, is my prediction. If they do that, they have a good chance of winning. They don't, it could be blowout. Usually the blowout happen in the third quarter. It can happen earlier if they don't use their weapons properly and understand matchups. I think Angel and Asia, they're gonna do their thing. Um, Camilla could do her thing if they give her the ball, but we'll see. And we'll see how this jersey retirement happened for Candice Parker. So, also I want to get into um, the power rankings for the WNBA. And so, the power rankings for the WNBA, let me go back to this. So, the power rankings from CBS Sports, fair use, says the Liberty stumble without Brianna Stewart. Well, yeah. At the beginning of the season, thought that the Liberty, I mean, the way they was playing at the beginning of the season, they were just blowing everybody out the water. And now they're having a problem, um, like everybody else, with injuries. You had JJ, Jaquel Jones out, and then you had Stewie out back and forth. She has some knee problems. She had surgery on her knee, but she was still playing well. You bring in Natasha Cloud, she's playing pretty good. Um, Not just the injuries to Brianna Stewart. You have some knickknacks from also Sabrina. I think this team is different. I didn't really realize that until the injuries happened, that they don't have the players off the bench that could replace Stewart as far as the defensive end and guarding the basket besides Jonquel Jones. So I think they're not as deep as they was. So let's take a look at it. So exactly 1 month ago, the Liberty beat the Phoenix to improve to 17-6. Though they were 3.5 games back of the Minnesota Lynx in the race for the number one seed, comfortably in second and 2.5 lead over everyone else. A finals rematch seemed destined. The next night, Stewart landed awkwardly on a layup attempt just minutes into the matchup with the Los Angeles Sparks. She left the game which the Liberty ultimately lost on a buzzer beater by Rakia Jackson and diagnosed with a right knee bone bruise. So she haven't played in a while, and I don't know if it's the same knee, but she had got her knee scoped. Um, so that affects the way she plays or how she'll come back. So the power rankings. Let's get to it. So the Lynx won last night, but they suffered before then back-to-back losses, and it was the first team to reach the 30-win mark, and they already clinched the playoffs last week. So they number one. The Dream, once again, I mentioned that they when they played the Aces, how uh, BG got off. I think they stopped going to her, and that kind of affected the game. But hey, so they ranked number 2, and but the defense, they said everybody talk about the offense, but their defense has been terrific. They are now second in offensive rating with 106.6 and a defensive rating of 99.0. So we already know they added some big their twin towers and BG and Brianna Jones, but their defense is pretty good, especially you have MVP candidate Alicia Gray, and her defense on the attack is pretty good. And so number 3, you have Aces. They have a 10-game winning streak. I said they had a 9-game winning streak. So the Aces longest streak since they moved to Vegas. So that's a pretty interesting stat. And they said Wilson added 2 more 30-point games this week to continue her MVP push and has 10 for the season. 10 30-point games. Wow. Now, a team that can cause some problems in the playoffs and a shocking team. I didn't see this team, they lost BG and, of course, Diana Taurasi retired. Kalia Copper was injured. You still had Satu. She came over, and so did Alyssa Thomas, AT, and she's been playing at an MVP clip, the point forward position, and they're number 4. The Mercury sandwich wins over the Valkyries, around to a loss to the Aces, and remain in 4th place, right where they were at the start of the week. Alyssa Thomas tied a career high with 16 assists for her size, and recorded a 6th triple-double of the season in the process. The Storm is number 5. And they're very interesting. They started to play a little bit better. They had some interesting losses, but they're led by the veterans, of course, Anika, Neka, and Skylar. And then the youngsters are playing pretty good. Um, and so the Liberty dropped down to number 6. The Liberty got one of the biggest wins this season against the Lynx, then promptly lost to the Sky and Dream. The latter coming without both Brianna Stewart and Sabrina. They are now 5-9 since Stewart went down. So they have a losing record, and let you know how valuable Stewie is to them. And while they should be finally healthy soon, the poor run of form could make their playoff path more difficult. So yeah, you never want to drop down to number 6. The teams at the top are mostly healthy. So the Sparks, they're vying for the 6th, 7th, or 8th spot. They're still in the playoff hunt. Kelsey Plum has the biggest moment yet in her Sparks jersey on Wednesday, when she banked in a beater to stun the Wings for the season. Plum, who's having a pretty decent season, close to MVP, averaging 20.4 points and 5 assists, Both marks are career highs for her. And she's on pace to join Donna Taurasi as the only players in the league to average 20 points and 5 assists in multiple seasons. Now, number 8 is the Valkyries. Now, these are teams that are pushing for at least the 6th or 7th or 8th spots. And this is a team who lost Kayla Burton. I'm sorry, Thornton, who was leading the team at the time. So, but they still have Burton. Kayla Burton put up 25 points at 13 assists in a win over the Wings that snapped the Valkyries' 3-game losing streak and keep them in the playoff position. So, before Burton has never recorded a 20-point, 20-assist game. She did it twice in 3 games. The 4th-year guard is averaging 12 points, 4.2 rebounds, and 5.6 assists, and is leading for the most improved player. Okay. So, this team found some gems. You had she been playing in the league for 4 years. Her scoring is up. So has Kayla Thornton, who was basically a bench player with the Liberty, and she became a star, but she got injured. They've been going through some injuries. That's why they're not higher. They still have a lot of injuries. Now the Fever has a lot of injuries. They lost Ari McDonald, and they round out number 9. And they're battling right now. They slipped to like the number 8 spot. And so Sophie Cunningham was ruled out for the season with a torn MCL, and that's very big because she's their 3-point specialist, also rebounds and defense. So they're going to miss her, Black Belt Sophie, as I call her. And they also lost Ari McDonald, who's playing very well for them. They lost veteran Sydney Colson, so they're missing a lot of guards that could come in and spell. Uh, uh, Kelsey Mitchell, of course. You have Caitlin Clark; she'll be back. So we'll see how she come back with the team. She's been out for a while, and they're number 9 on the power rankings, but number 8 in playoff position. Now, just on the outside of the playoff position, number 10 is the Mystics. And so the Mystics are an interesting team. They start off real hot. They had the two rookies who was vying for Rookie of the Year, and Kiki and Sonia Citron. So it says the Mystics was right in the mix of the playoff spot at the start of the week. Wow. After four straight losses, including one at a buzzer beater to the Storm, their postseason hopes are probably gone. They're now 3.5 games behind the seventh place Valkyries, who own the tiebreaker between the two clubs. During their defeat to the Suns, Sonia Citron broke the franchise rookie scoring record. So, unless some things really shake up, they 3.5 games behind, and the Valkyries could be either number 8 or 7th, depending on how everything shake up. Then you have the Sun and the Sky, who have the same amount of wins, and then the wins. And only positive things is, of course, the sensational Paige Beckers. And the only positive things for the Sun is uh, the rookies, the future, Anissa Morrow and Sanaya Rivers. And of course, with the Sky, you had the twin skyscrapers, Angel Reese and Camilla. So they round out the 11th, 12th, and 13th in the power rankings. So, yeah, the game tonight is going to be very interesting. And I can't wait for the festivities to pop off. Yes, yes, yes.
And so I'm very, very excited to see Asia versus Angel. They're going to be battling. You hear me?
They're going to be battling very tough. So, that's all I have to say about that. And maybe the fans for the Sky can say, dubs in the chat. Dubs in the chat.
Yeah, so maybe the Sky fans can say dubs in the chat. We'll see. So that's Miss D for 6 Women Sports. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. Peace.